Hey, what's good, everyone? Um, Today's gonna be an interesting video. Um, Basically today. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Alright, today I'm going to be showing off, I guess, some artifacts of a very short-lived nation/civilization in Kokka. Very short-lived. Didn't last very long, and I'll get into that. So yeah, we're going to be covering a bunch of artifacts from this civilization, as well as a little bit of history. The little history we know about it, mostly because there was little history anyway. So yes, we're going to be doing that, so stay tuned. Alright, basically, I'm going to be talking about Sparta. Yeah, very, very short-lived. Probably the shortest lived nation in the game, if I had to guess. Like, honestly, this civilization only lasted like 2 weeks before they disappeared, I guess. Anyway, so let's start the origins of Sparta. Basically, Sparta was created by a bunch of Roman colonists, but instead of like Massalia, where they revolted to get independence, they actually asked for their independence and were granted that independence. So no war was involved to get their independence from Rome. Either way, so yeah, they picked the village of Sparta to be their capital, and then, that's what they named themselves after, their capital. Either way, so Sparta, yes. Sparta was, 2 week span, civilization, but overall, culturally, they're kind of interesting to talk about, honestly. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. These are all the artifacts that are Spartan or once Spartan, as you can see. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna start here with the actual artifacts. So yeah, basically, we have a bunch of daggers right here. These 4 are daggers. These are, I'll get into the, I'm going to start with daggers. Daggers. So, this right here, people, this is the oldest dagger that has ever been recovered. Oldest Spartan dagger ever recovered. Yeah, very basic. This is probably made in, like, the first few days of Sparta. So yeah, Sparta did produce weapons and their very short-lived time. So yeah, that was the oldest recovered ever. So yeah, there's that. And then these, they're old, obviously. Sparta was around like a year ago at this point. But yeah, anyway, this is a broken one, damaged. These 2 are still good. But yeah. Spartans, they were manufacturers and not very good. You know what I mean? Like, as you can see, this dagger is nowhere near the length of that one, and they aren't coordinated, but honestly, Spartans didn't care. If it worked, it worked, the social status of Spartans mostly depended on their warfare skills and their equipment, and yeah, I guess wealth did have a part to play in the social scale, or the social scale, social ranks within. Obviously, the king was on top, King Poseidon of Sparta. He was elected the leader. Psych, just kidding. He organized, he's the one that organized a bunch of people to join him to create Sparta. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, a bunch of Spartan daggers. So yeah, basically, warfare, your the amount of equipment, how good your equipment is, your skills, your wealth, that was the 3 biggest things that you needed to get and have to be on the very high side of the social scale, if you know what I mean. You get a lot of attention and praise for doing so. Spartans only had 1 encounter. That was with some Eastern Raiders, oh my goodness. Sorry. That was against some Valley Raiders, excuse me. So yeah, they did win once, but then they lost the second encounter, and then that eventually led to their downfall, and then they just rejoined Rome. Anyway, so yeah. Over here we have double-edged, double-bladed. I don't even know what to, I don't even know weapons. We have two here. This is actually a Roman version. Originally, when Sparta rejoined Rome after their fall, after their city was destroyed by the Valley Raiders, Romans really took a look at some of the stuff they made while in their short period of independence. They're like, wow, this stuff's really, really cool and useful. So they really looked at this. They called it the Bronze Blade, and they wanted to create a new unit, the Bronze Blade Skirmishers. So this is a Roman version of the Spartan version. So yeah. Anyway, so what was this used for? I have no clue. The Romans, however, were going to use it as a skirmish unit. The Spartans, no clue, just a weapon, I guess. The Y, translated, I believe, in Spanish for Y. Don't ask me, didn't name it. But this is the only surviving Y, or at least discovered Y in Kokka right now. It's basically the Spartan version of a longer gladius. So, if you know Roman gladius's short sword, yeah, the Spartan version was a longer version of the gladius, and that's really about it. Yeah, Spartan longer version of a gladius. That's what the Y was. Yeah, this is the only surviving one, and it's been, obviously you can see it's been redone, so it's nice and pretty now. But yeah, those are the weapons. The shields here, these were all Spartan. Obviously all the symbols have been changed to the Roman symbol, or the Order of the Tree symbol. Same thing, because you know the Sparta came back to Rome, and so to do so they changed all the symbols back. So basically this was a Spartan shield, but then it's been repainted. The owner of the shield, forgot who, repainted it, and then, you know, the symbol was put back. I think the original color was like God goodness, I forgot. I don't know, like, I think it was like a yellow-ish. I think it was like a yellow, oh, sorry. Yeah, anyway, as you can see, it's damaged. Yeah, this one, it's been used a lot. Anyway, these smaller shields are Roman cavalry shields now, but they were originally Spartan skirmish unit shields. So, like, yeah, just lightly armed Spartans, lightly armed, and basically peasant troops of Sparta would be using these type of shields. Now, since they rejoined Rome, Rome used them as cavalry shields. So, yeah. Then we have the infamous rhombus shield. Now, actually, the Spartans did not create this one particularly. This is the only Spartan shield known in Kokka right now, or this is the only Spartan rhombus shield known in Kokka. There's been two made in Kokka so far. One was a Spartan, the other was always Roman. Both were made in Rome first, and were Roman, used for Rome, and then the owner of this decided to join Sparta, and then they recreated it into a Spartan shield. So yeah, that's the story behind that one. But yeah. And then obviously, the original color used to be blue, now it's red again, so yeah. This is a Spartan staff. I believe it was used by King Poseidon as his like scepter / staff, I don't know. Yeah. Yep, that was King Poseidon's staff. Anyway, these are some Spartan spears. These were used by, well, the soldiers, obviously. These were actually very rarely used, not gonna lie. The Spartans really, really preferred using the Gregas and their daggers. And, like, heck, a lot of Spartans actually used daggers more than they used any other weapon. And shields. But yeah, the spears were used by them though. So yeah, this is the only surviving, or the only Why do I keep saying surviving? I need to say the only recovered, Spartan flag. So this symbol is actually the letter J in Socro, which is like the Roman language in Kokka. Yeah, this is the letter J in Socro. And don't ask me why they wanted to change it to this, but they did. So this is the only recovered flag. There were 2 Spartan flags, this one and then another one which has not been recovered. This is the only recovered one. This was the one actually in the middle of Sparta, the city of Sparta. This one was recovered by there. The other one was a battle flag, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how it went. Unfortunately, yes, Sparta did succumb to the Valley Raiders. They just could not handle the pressure. There are only like 5 members of Sparta anyway. Yeah. But other than that, yeah, almost everyone was, skilled to fight or somewhat fight. But yeah, that is Sparta for you. Trying to think if there's anything else about Sparta I missed, but no. Yeah, I believe that's it. Anyway, guys, this is the history of Sparta and some of the artifacts found that were made by Sparta. So, yeah, and yeah, if you're wondering if the Spartan city is still around today, no, it's not. It's, like, completely gone. Like, there are some holes, some remnants, evidence of a settlement being there, but it's all gone now. Yeah. Once the Valley Raiders, raided everything, what was left was took by Rome and used into something better, I suppose. Used into something else. Yeah, basically the only thing that remains of Sparta is a few sharpened sticks that were useless to almost everyone, and some holes that were dug by the tents. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this one, guys, and see y'all later.